What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I want to show you how to install a wall charger for your EV. So in this case I have the charger of choice is the Autel Maxi Charger AC Lite. This is an output of 50 amp charger, so it should charge the car much faster than the plug-in chargers of the 120. So this is a 240 volts and this is from Autel. It's a smart charger, so you can connect it to Wi-Fi and you can monitor like the usage, the amperage, how much money it's costing and all that. I will link it in the description below. This charger conveniently comes with a sheet. Now this sheet tells you exactly what breaker size you need to install in order to achieve a certain output. So in my case I'm going for the maximum output, which is 50 amps. So I have a 70 amp breaker installed. So if you need if you have 60 amps, which I know most big box stores only carry up to 60 amps, I'm not sure, maybe Home Depot has the 70 amp. Anyway, 60 amps, you will achieve a 48 amp charging rate for your EV. So I'm going for the 70 amp, and I'll show you how to install the breaker and how to run the wires. It's very simple. It takes two hot wires, which is 120 volt each, achieving 240, and a ground. You can run that through from your panel, and I'll show you how I am doing that. And then you can mount the charger, and I'll show you how to wire the two hots and the ground to the charger itself, and then we're gonna try it on the car and see how it charges. Now this is my electrical panel, and I already installed the 70 amp breaker here. Before I start, I want to warn you, but before you even come near your electrical panel and remove the panel cover, you need to know what you're doing. Now in my case, I'm not touching anything before I turn the main breaker down. Also, having a tool like this is a $15 tool. It's a voltage detector. It can save your life. Now this, you put it close to any wires that are live and it starts screaming at you. Now before I touch anything, I am going to turn the main breaker down and then run my wires. Now I'm running the wires from the side of the panel, and I'm going into the garage, and I am using an L connection here, which is gonna go on like that. I'll show you once everything is installed. So that's gonna go like that. It's gonna go through to the panel and to the 70 amp breaker that I already installed. This is the breaker. I'm not touching anything. This is the breaker. So the wires are going to come through here down to the breaker, and then the ground's going to go to the ground. So with that being said, let's get to work. Okay, now the type of wire that you need for this job is so for 70 amp, number 6 wire is good up to 70 amp. So I have the number 6 wire. This is the 3 wire and an insulated loop, because it's inside the garage. If it was outside, I would get the bare wires, not the bare, they're insulated, but without the main insulation here, and run them through conduit. But since we're going through the garage, I can only use this and these wires. These are number 6 3 wire, 240 volts. That's what you need for this job. Now 60 and 70 amps, you need number 6 wire, but let's say you're going for 50, 40, 30 or 20. The lower the amperage, the higher the American wire gauge size that you need. So let's say you're going for 50 or 40, you can use number 8 and so on and so forth. There is a chart for this. Please be careful and use the appropriate equipment for the job that you're doing. So now before we continue, I just want to say it's more convenient and safer for lots of people to have an electrician install this for them, do this work for them. It's dangerous. If you don't feel comfortable in any way, please call an electrician and have him do it for you. It won't cost too much, a couple $100 or so. But for myself, I like to do everything myself, not just to save money, just I do it when it's convenient for me. So when I have time, I just work on it, so I don't have to wait for a contractor to come out here. So with that being said, I just want to say, please be careful around electricity, and if you rather stay away from it, please do so, and do not risk your life. It's not worth it. Okay, so right now I'm about to run the wires through, so I know how much of the insulation to cut back. So I dropped the main breaker off, and I have my voltage detector on. There is power before the breaker. there is no power after the breaker whatsoever. So you gotta make sure, double check that there's no power before you touch anything. So now I will run the wires through, and then of course through this, right, to the side, and then connect them to the breaker. And after that, I'll be done at the electrical panel. Okay, so I ran the wires, installed this very nicely. I'm gonna come back later and silicone this. This goes deep into the wall, so I'm not too worried about it. And silicone this too. It looks nice and clean. I just gotta put the cover back on. And on the inside here, I ran the 2 wires, 2 hots down to that 70 amp breaker there and there. Make sure these are nice and tight, and I ran the ground to the ground rods. Okay, so that's buttoned up and looking good. That's the entry to the home, and it's nice and sealed. Again, I'm gonna come back and put some silicone on this. And on the inside, I ran the wire. I'm gonna tuck it up once I'm done and make it nice and straight. And I hung the charger itself. It's really not much to it. There's a bracket that you you screw to a stud, and this just hangs into it. And there's a screw that secures it to the bracket right there. And now I ran the wire through 240 volts. So I'll show you how it's ran here. So here, as you can see right there, it goes right there. See, L1, L2, and the ground. So L1 is one of these 2 hot wires, L2 is the other one, and the ground is the bare one that goes right there. So I'm gonna loosen these screws and then install the wires and then tighten them very tight so that they never come loose. And I'll show you how they look. Okay, so now they're installed, and that's how they look, nice and tight, very tight. You can pull on them. Make sure I'm pulling on the wire here, making sure nothing comes loose, and that is tight as it can be. So now, turn the breaker on, make sure this lights up, and there's no issues before I close everything up. Okay, so this is the breaker. I'm gonna turn it on. Let's go see what's happening with the charger. All right, and look at that. It's turned on, it's green. That means it's ready to charge. And I think we did a successful job. So I'm gonna button everything, put it back together. Okay, and it's all done. That's how it looks like. And now let's try it on the Tesla. Okay, so, and she's charging. Look at that. Yeah, it is charging. And yeah, that's it. I hope this video is helpful to you. If it is, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe down there, and please be careful working with electricity. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.